So today we are going to discuss a new topic, that is demand paging. We are discussing this topic just after paging and segmentation, because now you have complete idea regarding the paging as well as the segmentation. Paging and segmentation both are dividing your process in different segments, different parts. Then these parts will be distributed to your physical memory. Now what is this concept, demand paging? There are two concepts, demand paging and virtual memory concept. Both are running parallelly. Both will be working parallelly. Virtual memory is a concept where you can assume a large primary memory, large RAM, but you are not having that much large RAM, but you can expect that you are having a big RAM by including your secondary storage in the RAM. Now, how is this possible? If you are running a process and that process is required to hold at least 4 GBs of RAM. Suppose you want to play a movie. Your movie file is of 4 GBs, but you are having only 1 GB RAM. Can you play that file on your system? Actually, you can't, but uh, in nowadays, you can run that particular file also. How? You are having 1 GB RAM and you want to play a 4 GB file. There we use a concept of virtual memory. From 4 GB process, it will take some part of the particular file and it will play that particular part. All other part will be there in the secondary storage in the hard disk, but you are not copying that particular part in your RAM. Then the starting portion of the file is executed, then the other contents will be copying from the secondary to primary. Starting 500 memory, 500 MBs memory will be copied first. Then by the time you are watching that particular part, other memory will be transferring in the background, and you will execute your complete file uh, likewise by running in the parts. So there are two concepts here. First, you are playing a big file, whereas you don't have that much RAM to run that particular file in a particular time. Second, how you are managing that particular file? By breaking, by using a concept of demand paging. Some particular portion is running in the RAM, all other portions are there in the secondary storage. If you need that particular portion, you can take that portion from the secondary and you can copy that content to primary. This is known as demand paging. If you want to run a file and you are having that particular file in your RAM, then it is okay. If you are not having that particular file in the RAM, then you are going to demand a particular portion or a particular page from the physical storage, secondary storage, so that you can take that access. This process is known as demand paging. If you want to access a particular page and that is not in your RAM, you want that page from the secondary storage, so it is known as demand paging. You are demanding. Pages are not there. All the pages of a file is not necessarily to be there. If you need a particular page, then only it will be copying from the secondary to primary. This is the concept of demand paging. Modern programs require a lot of physical memory. Memory per system growing faster than 25 to 30% per year. Obvious. But they don't use all their memory of all the time. 90-10 rule. Programs spend 90% of their time in 10% of their code. Wasteful to require all the user's code to be in memory. Suppose you want to play a game, that game size is of 30 GBs, 30, 40, 50 GBs, and you want to execute, you want to play that video game, that particular game in your laptop. It is not necessarily required that all the 30 GBs should be copied from the secondary to RAM, because your RAM is only of 6 to 8 GBs or not more than 16 GBs. So why to copy all the contents of that game? If you are playing the first stage of that game, then only the first stage will be loaded into the RAM. All other stages will be there in the secondary storage. When you will complete the first stage, then only the second stage will be copied from the secondary to primary. So it will be wasteful of wastage of the memory if you are copying all the contents in the RAM. So this solution you can achieve uh, from the RAM. Use main memory as cache for disk. Now this is your system, processor, control, data path, on chip cache. Then some other caching will be there. Then main memory, your RAM is there. Secondary storage, then your tertiary storage. Tertiary storage means like magnetic tape, CD drives. Secondary means hard disk. Main memory means your RAM. This is your cache memory. Then you can say this is your register level datas, register level memory. So all the things you should not be there in the memory, in the main memory. You can ask some contents from the secondary storage whenever you are required to use that particular task content. So this particular move is known as the caching concept. Whenever you want, then you may request the secondary storage to copy the content to main memory. Illusion of infinite memory is known as the virtual memory concept. This is your virtual memory. This is page table. This is your physical memory. This particular concept you have already seen in the, 1 second. This particular concept you have already seen in the paging. These three things, there is a virtual address, then page table, then using page table you are mapping your virtual memory to physical memory. But in normal paging, your virtual memory is lesser than this physical memory, because you need to place all these pages in some particular frames in physical memory. But here, as you can see, a virtual memory is uh, larger than the physical memory itself. 4 GB is the virtual memory and physical memory is only 512 MBs. So you cannot save all the pages in the physical memory at a time. You cannot map all the things here. So your page table will be like this. Some of the pages will be mapped with the physical memory and some of the pages will be mapped to the disk storage, hard disk. Some fields are going to disk storage. Those pages that you want to run frequently will be coming here. Those pages which will not be used frequently, you are putting these pages in the disk, secondary disk. Disk is larger than physical memory. In case virtual memory can be bigger than physical memory. Combined memory of running process much larger than physical memory. Suppose you want to play 3, 4 different tasks in your system at a time. So you can assume that if you are adding all the things, then it will be quite uh, heavier than the physical memory itself. More programs fit into the memory, allowing more concurrency. If you are running more programs at a time, then again it will be good for you. It will increase the concurrency level in your system. Concurrency means simultaneous access to the system. Principle: transparent level of indirection, that is page table. It supports flexible placement of physical data. Data could be on disk or somewhere across the network. Variable location of data, transparent to user program. Performance issue, not correctness issue. So it should be always correct. No need to worry about this, that my pages are going to somewhere else. It should go on the primary memory, but these are going in the secondary storage. This is not having any issue, but the major issue is the performance issue. Can you access your process as fast as possible? Now this is the demand paging mechanism. Demand paging mechanism. Now how this demand paging you are implementing in your system? There is a kind of pseudo code which you are going to implement using some page fault algorithms, which will again be a type of numerical in your syllabus. You will be having a very basic kind of numerical of page replacement policies, and that numerical is going to come in your end term examinations as well. Page table entry helps us implement demand paging. In page table entry, we are including two different bits, one different bit, which will be set to 0 or 1. 1 means valid. Valid means that page is in the memory. Point page table entry points at physical page. If the value of that bit is 0, it means not valid. Page not in memory. Use info in PTE to find it on the disk when necessary. In page table, uh, where the frame numbers are mentioned, there also a bit will be there, a bit which will tell you that particular page is in the memory, in the RAM, or in the secondary storage. Suppose user references page with invalid PTE. If you are not having that page in the primary storage, then what will happen? Memory management unit traps to OS. Okay, so you cannot find your page in the memory. Resulting trap is known as a page fault. It will be known as a page fault. Your system requires a page, and that page is not in the primary storage in your RAM. So what OS does in case of a page fault? Choose an old page to replace. We need to choose a page that is not in use currently, that is existing in your RAM. So you need to replace that old page with a new page. Page, you can say a data part that is not needed now. If old page is modified, if you already change that content of that old page, so you need to write these contents back to the disk. You are copying this content, all the content of that page, into the secondary storage. Then its PTE, page table entry, will be changed. Load new page into memory from the disk. Then only you can load a new page from the disk. You can copy some contents from secondary to primary. Update page table entry, invalidate TLB for new entry. Continue thread from original faulting location. TLB for new page will be loaded when thread continued. So there is a small concept here, suppose you want some new page. That page is not there in the memory, so it is a page fault. Page fault means you need to have that page in your RAM. Now your RAM is not free, so you need to free up your RAM. You need to remove some pages from the RAM so that you can allow new pages to come in the RAM. So you will find, with the help of a page replacement algorithm, we are having three different types of page replacement algorithm that we will discuss in the next few classes. But when you will find a new page, and now suppose you have found it that this particular page does not require for further execution, so you need to save that particular page in the secondary storage. Then only you can take a new page from the secondary to primary. You cannot just throw that page randomly. You need to save all its data in the secondary storage, and after every task you need to update the data in the page table entries, because whenever you are copying data from here to there or there to primary memory, then at all the times page table entry need to be changed. Page table entry is having the current location of the pages. If you are changing the pages from primary to secondary or secondary to primary, then again you need to update the page table entries. So this is the concept of demand paging. Whenever you require a page, then only it will be copied from the secondary storage to corresponding primary storage.